The Chosen Season 4 is almost over. It's actually kind of sad. Episodes 7 and 8 are coming to theaters in just 2 days, so therefore I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about what to expect in these final 2 episodes before The Chosen Season 4 ends its theatrical run and then comes to streaming very soon for the entire world to see. I will say you should probably not watch this video if you haven't seen episodes 1 through 6 because we're going to be talking about spoilers for the continuing storylines that have been happening this season. I'm going to give you 5 things to expect from episodes 7 and 8 of Season 4 when you see them in theaters in just 2 days. Let's go ahead and roll that intro. Hello everybody, my name is Eli Hollingsworth and welcome back to Against the Current, The Chosen podcast, where today we're talking about The Chosen Season 4 finale and everything that you can expect in these last 2 episodes of Season 4. Kicking it off with number 5, Jesus wept. Now this might seem like a simple one, but at the end of episode 6, we got the news that Lazarus has officially died. And so now in episode 7, Jesus is going to go back to Bethany, and starting in verse 28, it reads, "When she had said this, she went and called her sister Mary, saying in private, 'The teacher is here and is calling for you.' When she heard it, she rose quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the village, but was still in the place where Martha had met him." Now this is Bethany, by the way. When the Jews who were with her in the house, consoling her, saw Mary rise quickly and go out, they followed her, supposing that she was going to the tomb to weep there. Now when Mary came to where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet, saying to him, "Lord, if you had been there, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come with her also weeping, he was deeply moved in his spirit and greatly troubled. And he said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Lord, come and see." Jesus wept. John 11, verse 35, the shortest verse in the Bible and quite possibly the most impactful, the most mic drop moment, because Jesus has been dealing a lot this season within the storyline of Season 4 with his impending doom rapidly approaching, the leaders and Pharisees and rulers of the time all getting more and more upset with the preaching and teaching of Jesus and everything that he's doing, as well as his own followers and disciples not seeming to keep up with what Jesus is saying and what Jesus is trying to tell them about the things to come. So this is basically just a breaking point almost for Jesus, to where he just kind of starts weeping. This is the only time where we really see Jesus weeping. And he says he was greatly moved in his spirit. So he's really feeling a lot in this scene. And Jonathan Rumi as a performer is such an amazing actor. So it'll be very exciting to see. I mean, not exciting, but it'll be interesting to see his performance and take on this scene, how Jonathan portrays this. We can see this in the trailer for Season 4, Jesus weeping. It's a really, really sad, emotional, and intense scene that's going to go down, and we're going to see that Season 4, Episode 7. So I can't wait to see it in 2 days. Next up at number 4, we have Mary anoints Jesus and the raising of Lazarus. Now, I kind of switched these both into the same one here, but in John 11, we get the story of the death and resurrection of Lazarus. This is going to be a major, pivotal moment for The Chosen Season 4 and for the entire rest of the show, as this is the moment where the Pharisees say, "Oh, that's it. We gotta get rid of this guy." Some people believed when they saw that Jesus had raised Lazarus from the dead, but this was really the moment where the Pharisees said, "We're gonna have to get this guy out of here," and they do, for 3 days at least. This is where Jesus comes to the tomb, tells them to roll away the stone, and he says in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." And it's going to be interesting to see the ramifications of this and how this relates to Thomas's storyline this season, where in Season 4, Episode 3, Thomas lost Rama. She was killed by Quintus, and Jesus chose not to heal her. He stood by and let it all play out. Now, Jesus is coming to Lazarus and raising him from the dead, proving that he can do it if he wants to. So now Thomas is going to be very confused about what's happening. It'll be very interesting to see Thomas's reaction to Jesus' decision to raise Lazarus from the dead and how that lesson is going to play out in The Chosen Season 4. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be very exciting to see it in just 2 days. Now, at number 3, we have the return of Pilate. Now, this is a very pivotal character in Jesus' life and ministry because he is the one who ends up sentencing Jesus to death, or, in a sense, being peer pressured to sentence Jesus to death. He didn't really know what was going on, but he's going to be returning in The Chosen Season 4. We haven't seen him at all this season, which is kind of interesting to me. So we're going to have to see him in Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8. In fact, there's going to be a dinner scene with Roman officials, including Pilate and his wife and a few other people, all reclining at a table having dinner, including Joanna and her husband, kind of all having a conversation about Jesus. Now, this is where we're going to start to see the Pharisees pressuring Pilate into crucifying Jesus. He's going to make a return in The Chosen Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8. We got his introduction last season in Season 3, so it's very exciting to see the continuation of this character and how he's going to be more moving towards what he eventually does in sentencing Jesus to be crucified. At number 2, we have a potential flash forward to the future. Now, this one is mostly just theory, but we can see shots in the trailer of Mary Magdalene wearing different clothes and looking into the tomb. This could just be after Lazarus is resurrected and she's looking into the tomb of Lazarus, but we get voiceover from this trailer of Mary Magdalene talking in the past tense.
I remember you wishing there could be another way, and looking back, I do too.
I still don't know why it has to be this way. The bitter often mingled with the sweet.
You told us it would be like that, was how you lived, the man of sorrows, acquainted with grief.
This could just be her looking back at Rama's death, it could be looking back at Lazarus' death, or it could be a flash forward to the future in between when Jesus was dead and buried for 3 days. This could be her looking back from the future and kind of recounting all of the events that we're seeing play out currently in The Chosen Season 4 from the future. This could be a conversation in the future with her and Jesus, or her and the other disciples, but I think we're going to see Mary Magdalene from a future point in time looking back on these events as portrayed in the Season 4 trailer, which would be very interesting to see that time period of Mary Magdalene. And finally, at number 1, we have the triumphal entry. The triumphal entry where Jesus finally arrives in Jerusalem, and after all of this commotion, all of this drama, all of this intensity that's been stirred up from the Pharisees, the rulers and king leaders at the time in Jerusalem, all getting upset with Jesus and him raising Lazarus from the dead, which is the last straw to where the Pharisees are now dead set on killing him. Jesus then comes into Jerusalem, not on a high steed or on a horse or anything special or spectacular, but on a donkey to show his humility and lowliness. And Jesus actually cries over Jerusalem as he's riding in. But nonetheless, this is going to be an extremely interesting scene to see. Now, Dallas has said before, I know he's been very clear, that Season 5 is going to be Holy Week. But over the past Season 4 filming, there were scenes filmed with extras holding palm branches and waving them around, so this is definitely going to be somehow related to the triumphal entry. I don't know if we'll see Jesus riding up to the gates of Jerusalem, or if we'll see him actually coming in, or him maybe getting, I don't know, halfway through Main Street, but in some sense, we're going to see Jesus entering Jerusalem or about to enter Jerusalem. Now, at the point they filmed with all these extras for Season 4 and the triumphal entry, they filmed scenes without the actors because there was the SAG Actors Guild strike going on at that point, so a lot of the actors were not on set. So there is going to be a tie-in with King David, as we can see from this shot from the trailer, where kind of they're tying in King David riding into Jerusalem or something like that, because you can see a lion on the back of his shield, so pretty sure that this is King David. So we're going to see tie-in with that to the triumphal entry, but I am 99% certain that we're going to see at least some of Jesus riding into Jerusalem on the donkey, the famous Bible passage here for the finale of Season 4, similar to what they did, if you don't remember, in Season 2. The Season 2 finale, Jesus walked up for the Sermon on the Mount and opened his mouth to preach, and then that's where the credits rolled, and then we picked up from where we left off at the beginning of Season 3 with Jesus preaching the Sermon on the Mount. Now, I think we're going to see a similar thing where they kind of cut this event in half or don't show us the full thing, and then we pick up where we left off at the beginning of Season 5. So there you have it. There's 5 biggest things for you to expect in The Chosen Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8. I'm so hyped to see the conclusion to this season, which has been quite possibly The Chosen's best season yet. They just get better and better, and things are ramping up, which is kind of sad. It seems like we're so close to the end, but yet we still have a good ways to go. I cannot wait to see how this all unfolds in just a few days. If you are too, be sure to let me know down below in the comments. Have you bought your tickets yet for the finale? I can't wait to see you in the theater if you're going to be there. I will be seeing it on opening night, as always, because I love this show so much and everyone involved. It is going to be a fantastic time. So be sure to let me know how hyped you are down below in the comments. Tell me what your favorite episode of this season has been. I know a lot of people are saying Season 4, Episode 4 was phenomenal, which it was, really, really good. And what do you think you want to see in The Chosen Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8? Be sure to let me know all that good stuff in the comments down below. And if you liked this video, be sure to like it. If you haven't subscribed to Against the Current A, The Chosen podcast yet, I would obviously recommend that you do that. That would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys in my next video. Binge Jesus.